Greetings, YouTube. Mandarin's decided to join us. At the moment, the world is experiencing an exposure to a new coronavirus, COVID-19. And by the time this thing runs its course, millions of people will have become sick, and we will probably, unfortunately, see tens of thousands of people die. It's it's going to get bad. Not probably going to hit pandemic levels, but it's going to be close. Entire countries are shutting down their infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, in an attempt to isolate people and keep them from spreading the disease. But the problem is that your chance of getting it is directly linked to the healthcare system of the world that you live in. So if you live in a place, say, that doesn't want employees to take sick time because they have no or very few sick days, and they're constantly pushing their employees to work because the corporation is more important than their personal lives, and you live in a place, say, that has a healthcare system that often prices healthcare out of the reach of your common citizen, well then, you're in trouble because you could be exposed to this pointlessly because you're living in a system that says sick people should be out in public and working as opposed to staying home and having access to the health care that they need. Of course, I'm talking about the United States of America, where corporations consider your personal life to be an absolutely meaningless concept. You are nothing but a walking, talking pile of fungible labor hours, and everything else doesn't matter to them. It's immaterial that you have needs of personal time or sleep or family or anything else. And if you get sick, well, we don't care. Get to work. And that's going to expose you a lot. Now, I'm lucky in some ways that I work in a manufacturing, so I'm not in contact with the public. So the number of people I work with is not rotating. It's the same group of people every day. But on the other hand, lots of these people have kids, and kids are disease vectors. And while it looks like the COVID-19 virus is not hitting children as hard as it is hitting adults, particularly older adults, it does mean that they can carry it and they can pass it on to their parents, who then come to work and pass it on to me, lucky me. And I only get 4 sick days a year, and I would be honest that I don't want to get this disease, but if I've got to take 4 days off, I'm taking 4 days off. But the problem is if I do that, if I don't have a doctor's note, I'm going to get in trouble, which is sad. We shouldn't be living in a system like that. I have fairly decent healthcare insurance for especially for America. So at least I can get the medical attention that I require. I can go to urgent care and I can go to or go to my doctor if I need to. Urgent care is a whole lot closer. There's more urgent care facilities in my area than my doctor. My doctor actually isn't that close to me, which is kind of an annoyance. When I went to go find a doctor, it was difficult to find one that was actually handling patients over 12 and under 65. That demographic was not being well served in my city. I had to go outside my city to find a doctor, believe it or not. Of course, I was also looking for a woman. I don't like to deal with male doctors. They don't listen. So if we had health care for all, everyone could then access the health care they need. So when a disease like COVID-19 hits, everyone could access the kind of stuff that they need to make sure that they stay healthy, or if they get sick, that they get healthy as fast as possible, and that minimizes their chance of being a disease vector. And of course, I'm going to hear people saying, it's too expensive. Well, if you've been paying attention, especially to the new Yale study that just came out, a Medicare for All system would save the United States of America $450 billion with a B dollars per year and save 68,000 lives annually, and that's before COVID-19 hit the world. So you want to flip that around, you could say our current system in the United States of America is killing 68,000 people a year and costing us $450 billion a year that we're just pissing into the pockets of the wealthy. Actually, if I could piss into the pockets of the wealthy, maybe they'd be a little more agreeable. But that's beside the point. We really need to get our stuff together. The weakest link for your health is the person in your community that doesn't have health care and can't take days off because the corporation they work for makes them function at work, no matter how ill they are, for fear of losing their job, for fear of becoming homeless, or not being able to get food or pay bills. We're in late-stage capitalism, folks, and poverty is the stick that they're going to use every single time they can to make sure that you stay in line. So the next time you want to make sure that you stay healthy, remember that the weakest link in your community is the person that is the danger to you. And they wouldn't be a danger if we had a healthcare system that said everyone should have access to healthcare, that healthcare is a human right. That's what we should have. I realize that healthcare is not a simple solution, but for some reason, of the 33 developed nations on the planet, 32 of them have found some kind of functioning solution to this problem. And the United States of America is the only one that hasn't.